Sacked by his company but not arrested by the Delhi police yet. Complete shake-up in the aviation industry as the DGCA issues a new advisory now after the P-Gate episode. Unprecedented scenes in the national capital as the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP councillors literally come to blows ahead of the mayor elections. The BJP claims Aam Aadmi Party leaders were drunk. Charges fly as both parties now claim their leaders are injured. And this is the second charge sheet filed in the Delhi liquor scam. The ED says probe against Manish Sisodia continues. A very good evening. Thank you for staying with us on Republic. This is, remember, for the second straight day today that we are debating what happened vis-a-vis the Air India episode. His name now is Shankar Mishra. There is also a picture that you've seen all through today on Republic that has been accessed. Republic, remember, literally has been on his trail. Right from Bengaluru to Mumbai, Republic has been there trying to get you the first images, the first reactions of this man. But where is this man? Where is this creep? He is on the run. The man in the middle of the P-Gate episode is absconding. The police right now is literally looking for him. Now, we all know what he did, but again and again, it's important to reiterate. Because this man urinates on a fellow woman passenger, all this midair. He's unapologetic. He believes everything can be settled. In fact, this man, Shankar Mishra, has unleashed his lawyers, now his legal team, on this victim. He's decided to brazen this out, and the entire country condemns this tonight. What about Air India? Air India literally washing off their hands. But we at Republic say, is this the way Air India will be allowed to behave and get away? Let's first bring up the entire story, the investigation by our team, and then we debate.
November 26th, an inebriated man urinated on a 70-year-old female co-passenger mid-air. What followed was an attempt to brush the entire incident under the carpet.
A drunk man walked up to a woman on an Air India flight, unzipped his pants, and then urinated on her. This is the most sickening and horrendous sequence of events. But what did Air India do? Almost absolutely nothing. They decided to casually ban him for 30 days, and that also, what we are hearing, they took this small action weeks after the incident. This is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen, that Air India needs to understand. This is a very serious matter.
But Republic's unrelenting campaign has now forced action.
I'm trying to connect Shankar Mishra. I'm trying to connect Shankar Mishra. Put the phone on speakers. The phone is ringing. Shankar Mishra is not responding. Viewers, Shankar Mishra, the accused, the creep, who urinated and in fact is not responding.
From Mumbai to Bengaluru, Republic teams have tracked Shankar Mishra. But he is hiding and unleashing his lawyer instead. Following widespread public outrage, Wells Fargo removed him from official groups. He's now been sacked.
Right now we are outside his office in Bengaluru at Devana Bisanahalli, and now it is mainly being learnt of the fact that the accused Shankar Mishra was present in Bengaluru, but the timeline is yet to be established as of now because there are no details of whether he was present or not.
Rattled, the accused has now unleashed his lawyer. He has now questioned the 70-year-old instead. Even Air India, which tried to wash its hands off, is now compelled to hold inquiries. The DGCA issued new advisory to all airlines. And even as news tightens around accused Shankar Mishra's neck, the clamour for his arrest is only growing louder. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
So where really is this man, and why is Air India today not even coming forward to issue an apology? Why don't they act against the captain, the crew members? These are very, very important questions that Republic will continue to ask. Let's say good evening to Geeta Abhar, who's a political analyst, along with Rajlakshmi Joshi, also an activist with us. Dr. Sumansi Raman is also a political analyst on the panel. And my first question is to Piers Yoshi, the former ex-director of the KFN and aviation expert on the broadcast. Piers Yoshi, why has Air India today not apologized? Why has there been no action against the captain, the crew members? Why is Air India wanting to cover up everything?
The situation that is right now, it is impossible to cover. And I fail to understand Air India now being a Tata Group company, and they are so consumer conscious and always working towards a better customer support, not apologize. I don't think there is anything wrong in admitting the mistake. Mistakes do happen. And I think it would be good if Air India came forward and apologized. Definitely, but definitely the crew of Air India that were operating that flight is at fault. The air hostesses did not follow the protocol. The pilots did not follow the protocol. The protocols are very, very laid out and defined what they should do in each condition. And it is not only for Air India, it's all for every international airline that is following the convention, the international convention. The air hostess should have reported. The pilot should have. Internationally, it has also happened that the pilots have diverted to the nearest possible airport and have removed the passenger, unruly passenger, and handed him over to the authorities. So this should have been done the minute the ATC should have been informed. The ATC would have brought the police, and the Bcash security should have been there when he was landed. He was arrested and prosecuted immediately. Now, if that what happened at that time, and the police had done their action, he would not have been on the run today. He is on the run today because this did not happen. There is no provision in any of the law of aviation where the staff is allowed to come to a compromise.
You've idly explained to us what should have happened. But clearly that hasn't happened. I want to know from you, who do you believe here is to be blamed? Who's accountable?
No, the airline is accountable. Of course, the guy who's the accused who did this wrong is fully responsible, but the airline is equally accountable and responsible. When you buy a ticket and you get on an aircraft, from the time you board the aircraft till you get off the aircraft, it is the airline's responsibility to give you a safe travel. It is the airline responsibility to go point A to point B in a safe atmosphere. The commander of the flight is responsible for your safety. Even the action that the commander of the aircraft did not upgrade her, forget upgrade, move her. This is not a question of upgrading. You're not upgrading from economy to business or business. You're just moving to make her life a little more easier. She must have gone through a tremendous amount of trauma. And I don't understand. The perpetrator should have been separated, put in such a way that he cannot harm other passengers, handcuff the crew. On the contrary, they are trying to conduct a meeting between the lady and the accused and trying to come to a compromise. There is no provision in any law that a crime has occurred and the air hostess or the pilot.
But then Mr. Damania, I need to ask you this. How is it today, Ms. Joshi, that Air India hasn't responded. They do not apologize. You do not have the chairman even speaking to the victim or even paying her a visit. That's the least that one can do. Go ahead and apologize at least. Put out a public apology. Tell us that you're ashamed of the conduct of the captain and the crew, Ms. Joshi.
No, this lady can easily move to the consumer court. Apart from a criminal angle, she can move to the consumer court and she will be the consumer court will definitely side her. What has happened is wrong. And I do not understand what is wrong in accepting mistakes. Mistakes do happen. It is very important that you admit the mistake, say sorry, and end the matter.
I don't think it's a mistake. I don't even want to call this a mistake. Mr. Damania, this isn't a mistake. Because like you said, not just the crew and the captain, ignore what happened, Ms. Joshi. They were trying to broker a deal. Now, who really is the captain and the crew that was trying to broker a deal? Who are
They were trying to downplay the incident. They tried to cover it up. And even later, if the lady had not pursued it, then I don't think that they would have even brought it up now. And it is so shocking that there is another incident just happening a few days later on another flight of Air India. So what were they waiting for all these days? So they should have taken this up. Maybe if this was taken up at the right time, then maybe the second incident wouldn't have happened. The second incident might not be as grievous as the first one, but then it is definitely a shame. The second one also, where a person has urinated on a woman's blanket. I mean, I shudder to think that, if I am traveling in that business class, what will happen if, they say that the lights were out and the person mistook that seat to be a toilet. If that person is so inebriated, then he could be a
Why was he
security
so
threat
drunk?
to everybody.
I mean, why
He could be a
was so much
security threat
alcohol
to
served to
everybody.
him?
So that person should have been, he should have been detained. There
But
should have
Mr.
been
Damania,
enough
why
caution to
today
take.
are these questions
How
being
could he
addressed
be
by Air
allowed to
India?
actually
Before I get
go
in
and speak
Sumant
with the
and
lady?
before I get in Geeta Bhatt,
That is shocking.
Mr. Damania, tell me something.
Yeah.
When it comes to what this senior citizen went through, can that be, bought with an apology? Can that silence, that cover up be bought with some amount of money? The
No,
point
I
is,
mean-
Air India has some
15,000
very,
rupees.
very serious
15,000
questions to
rupees.
answer.
No. See, already the DGC inquiry has been
Mr.
launched.
Damania.
And DGC already has been. See, if people had been informed, the reports would have been filed, automatically this would have gone to the upper management, and the upper management would have been compelled to report to the DGC. Let's accept reality. The DGC is the person or the department that puts a person on no-fly list. So ultimately, this matter should have gone to the DGCA. Tomorrow, this man urinated. He could have done something worse. Would we have covered that up also? This situation cannot be covered up. And it is very important that Air India is a customer-friendly Tata group, which has prided themselves so much on consumer support, should have come forward and said, mistakes do happen. Let's accept the mistake, say sorry, and do the best we can to cover the situation, to make good best of the situation.
No,
to
Mr.
not accept
Damania,
the mistake,
I still believe that, Air India has a lot of answering to do. What is even
Absolutely.
worse is how you have unleashed the lawyer. The lawyer from the side, Sumant, as I'll get you and Professor Geeta Bhatt now, Sumant, they've unleashed the lawyer on the senior citizen, saying that it's only one side of the story, Sumant, that's playing out right now. Now tell me something, can there be another side to this? Can there be another side? Because we've seen the lady, her entire statement that's come in. We've heard eyewitnesses speaking about this. What is the other side of the story?
Let me, first of all, this is an appalling incident, and there is no way that, that there can be any justification for what has happened. Now, the point, as far as Air India is concerned, let's look at the sequence of events. There is this incident which happens on board the aircraft. An hour or two after the incident, the man apparently becomes sober, and then he cries and pleads for forgiveness and apologizes profusely and promises to compensate the lady passenger, and subsequently does compensate her. And the airline also chips in and says that they would they would be refunding the fare and so on, because they don't have. Of course, the captain should have been involved. He should have upgraded her and given her a seat in first class and so on. All that is completely, just poor service and quality from Air India. They should have handled it better. But you have to look at the facts of the case. The money was returned apparently 2 weeks later. So was this, what if the lady did not want to accept the money of this man? Would it not have made sense to say either refuse to take it or immediately return it to him? Apparently, from whatever media reports came, this money was returned.
No, Sumant, I'm a little confused. I really want to be sure that I've heard that right. So I'll ask you to repeat this again. Are you right now targeting the victim? Are you saying she initially, took this money? She accepted this money only to return it later. What are you alluding to?
My point is very simple. Had the lady, this is not to excuse Air India in any manner whatsoever, but had the lady insisted on a police complaint to be given and the airline refused, then it becomes a different issue altogether. Some kind of a compromise was worked out on board the aircraft.
She did.
Should it have been worked? No. Should it have been worked out? No, I don't believe it should have
Suman,
been
she
worked
did.
out. But
I don't know whether you've accessed the letter or not, but that's a letter
No.
that Republic accessed yesterday morning. We've been playing it out. The letter made it
Everybody
absolutely
played it
clear.
out.
The lady in question said that I requested the crew to arrest this man the moment you had the plane touching ground.
Yes.
And she said,
Now-
in spite of that request, I was made to confront this man again. I was made to go back and sit on the same seat that this man
second.
urinated upon.
One second. You want a man to be arrested, right? You want him to be arrested, and you are justified in wanting him to be arrested. Why would you take money from
Should
the
he
man?
not be arrested?
It doesn't make sense at all to me. And then you hold on to it for I don't know what, 1 week, 2 weeks before it is returned. Look, logically, the crew believed that some kind of a compromise had been effected. And they should have reported it. That's no question.
Who wanted the compromise? Sumant.
Should have better care of the passengers.
Sumant, you know, it is really easy to sit here in judgment. You clearly are not aware of the facts, Sumant. So let me enlighten you. And I'll also get Geeta Bhatt
please
here.
let me,
Geeta Bhatt,
please
isn't
let
this
me
the
answer
problem? You normalize everything. That apparently, you know, in hindsight, why did the lady even take any amount of money? Republic today has also accessed the WhatsApp chats where this pervert is, you know, sending back her clothes, her shoes dry cleaned through courier. And then you have a Suman C. Raman who says, hey, listen, why did the, lady initially even accepted money? Is that the real question here, Geeta?
I'm talking
Well,
about Air India.
I think the question here is that, first of all, as far as the DGCA guidelines, if you know whether these guidelines are there and whether they have been followed by the crew of the airlines when this unfortunate incident happened. Second, one of the more important point here is that please see that in both the incidences, we see that it is a woman on which the urination has been very disgusting thing has been done by two men. There are two incidences which have been reported. One is one that we are discussing over here. Now that itself, it is important to understand that also one is the societal aspect also, that why is it that it would have been, there were so many passengers sitting around, must have been sitting around, and is it just, it's just by chance that it is that, in both the incidences, it is a woman on whom this kind of a, urination was, that person decided. I mean, even if he was inebriated, some sense would have been there in him in identifying people who was sitting on the, sitting on the seat. And also that this should also bring into question that the amount of liquor that is being served on these flights. Is it that he got...
And that is why, Geeta, that is why an apology here, no amount of apologies, Sumant, can compensate what this lady has gone through.
Look.
And today you, much like the lawyer for this pervert and creep, are out there, Sumant, targeting the senior citizen because you're asking her, why did you even were willing to accept money only to return it later, Sumant?
One second. The lawyer of the accused has put out the statement today where they have said there were no eyewitnesses to this whole thing, which again is very strange because, how could you not have eyewitnesses to something as gross and ghastly as this? So this is, even though the lights had been dimmed. Now, the second very important point is, again, I keep coming back to the role of Air India. Did they show poor judgment? Absolutely. Should they have handled it better? Yes. But I don't believe that the airline has committed a crime in terms of trying to, what the crew in good faith believed that awful behavior.
No, this isn't about one lady. This is about the entire aircraft. This is about the other people also.
Sumant,
inebriated enough.
Sumant, for a moment, Sumant, just put yourself, God forbid, but just try putting yourself in the place of the senior citizen. 1 second, Ms. Joshi. Let's have a reality check for Sumant. Sumant, for a moment, Sumant, God forbid, if you were in that position, you report this to the crew does nothing, they go back and you are told, Mr. Suman C. Raman, you can go back and sit on the same seat, we've sanitized it. And later this man who
I
pees
have
on
said
you
that was
will
unacceptable.
come
My point-
and say, I'm
my
sorry.
point-
You will forgive him?
Point is,
You
my
will forgive
point
him.
is a compromise was affected on board the aircraft. Right or wrong is a different
does
issue.
the airline,
Would you have
does the
compromised,
airline
Sumant?
staff
Would you have
the power to come
compromised?
to compromise? There is
No, I
no
would
provision.
not. I would not
There
have.
is
And
no
who are
provision
they?
in
I mean,
any
who are
law.
they?
No,
Who are
one
they?
minute.
What kind
one
of an
minute.
authority?
One
What kind of
minute.
an authority? Sumant, don't run away from that question, Sumant.
What kind of?
Sumant, tell me
What
this.
kind of-
Would you have taken a compromise? You have compromised, you would have taken an apology and forgotten
wouldn't have
about
taken the money
anything and
either.
everything that
I
happened
wouldn't
with
have
you?
taken money either. If I wanted the accused to be arrested, I wouldn't have taken his money. And I wouldn't have kept the money for 2 weeks. I'm sorry.
So the crime isn't big enough. The crime isn't big enough. But
No,
the
it's
fact,
clear
that
crime
that
is
lady
big.
took
The
that
crime
little
is
amount,
big.
measly amount.
No, he is-
Measly amount that she took. You today think that lessens the crime, Sumant.
It does not lessen the crime. What it does show is that a compromise
Then-
of some sort was affected on board the aircraft. And I think this whole thing that Air India has committed a huge crime, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. Air India's crew has shown poor judgment. They should have handled it better. They should have given her a seat in first class. They should certainly not have asked her to go back and sit on the same seat. All of that I accept completely. But the Air India crew, when this...
And
when the two
Air India has
passengers
the
left
authority,
water,
Sumant.
they
You're telling me
believed-
to broker a
believed
deal.
that was the end
When
of the
the
matter.
lady, when the
That was
victim,
end of the matter.
Sumant, very clearly says that I did not want to be confronted with this man, and she says against my wishes, you have the crew getting that man face to face with me. That is allowed.
Sumant is not a he's not a woman, so he will not understand the trauma that the woman must have gone through.
He is coming to apologize. He is coming to say.
Ms.
that
Joshi,
he's sorry
let's
that he's
listen to
done
what
something
Sumant has
awful.
to say. I'm going to come back to
You
you.
want the crew to? I don't know whether they had security on board the aircraft to sort of physically restrain this man. And mind you, there doesn't seem to be, the other passengers don't seem to have known about it, which is why the lawyers are saying there are no eyewitnesses. How is it possible on such a?
So what are you saying? Is she lying? Sumant, are you now questioning the veracity of the eyewitness account that this lady has herself written? The entire complaint that she has put in. Are you doubting her?
There are no eyewitnesses. Why are they saying that? I mean, it's crazy that such an incident cannot
No,
have
you are
eyewitnesses,
ready
right?
here, Mr. Damania. Sumant C. Raman is ready to go by what the lawyer is saying, but absolutely not ready to go with what the victim herself has written.
You have the
I
right
don't,
manifest.
see, I
Mr.
don't
Damania.
think a 70-year-old lady will weave up this whole story. I don't think anybody sensible, any woman will say something like this happened, that a man flashed himself at that urine. No sensible woman is going to say it. And she was traveling business class. She must have been from a good family on a New York, Delhi sector. And another thing, what shocks me is that the air hostesses are all senior in business class. They've been trained to handle emergencies like this. There is a fixed protocol of what happened when you come across an unruly passenger. The rules are very clearly laid down for the air hostesses. They undergo training, and for the pilots. So definitely the rules weren't followed. The protocol wasn't followed. And just by common sense, you cannot bring together a victim and the accused. The perpetrator of the crime should have been put away separate. He should have been guarded that he doesn't do anything crazy again. This could have become much bigger if they did. And instead of putting him away, keeping her away from the
Absolutely,
victim,
he could have just been a flight threat, Sumant, for all that you know. And then Sumant, would you say an apology has happened? You know, dono mein patch up ho gaya, both have spoken, everything is good. Sumant, that's the kind of attitude?
Look, the passenger, for not 1 minute am I saying that the passenger has cooked up the story. That's not the point at all. I am pointing out the fact that today there must be at least 50 other passengers who traveled on that same aircraft who must have known what has happened. And so far, I have not come across the version from any one of them. I'm sure the passenger manifest is available with Air India. I'm sure that the journalists, media would have got.
लेडी 72 वर्षीय आहे, आई बरोबर आहे, आई सारखी आहे, असा होऊ शकत नाही. इकडे काहीतरी काही प्रॉब्लेम आहे, काही ब्लॅकमेलिंगचे आहे, इमेज खराब करायचे आहे.
तर त्या महिलांनी काही पैसेही तुमच्या मुलांकडून घेतले, ते पुरावे तुम्ही सादर केले?
पैशाची डिमांड होते. इवन एक She demanded and it was paid also. नंतर काय झाले मला माहिती नाही.
सध्या तुमचा मुलगा कुठे आणि कधी समोर येणार आणि तुम्ही या माध्यमातून काय तुमची मागणी आहेत?
मी पण ट्राय करत आहे फोनवर. आता कॉन्टॅक्ट झाला नाही आहे. झाल्यानंतर मी काय बोलू शकत आहे.
So, the man that you've just in fact seen on our screens, he's the father of the pervert Shankar Mishra. He's speaking up. The bite, in fact, is in Marathi. We'll just get our teams up to translate that. But I think a very little of what I have just understood, he says that he's been trying to establish contact with his son. He says, I absolutely do not believe this story that is now out. He says that she, as in the victim here, demanded money from my son. He says that they are trying to defame the image of my son. Let's see if we can actually get in our team to translate that and play that reaction again that has just come in. The first reaction coming in from the father of this pervert, Shankar Mishra, who also now says that he has not been able to speak to his son. But why is this creep? Why is Shankar Mishra not surrendering? Why is he not getting arrested? That's a crucial question. Where is he right now? I think Alicia will be able to help us translate what has been said. But like I said, very briefly, he goes on again now to defend his son. He says nothing like this has happened. I do not believe this story. He's also used the word blackmail. I do not still know in what context. The reason why I think we must play out that reaction again. And he also does say that there was money that did change hands. So clearly, you are seeing an all-out attempt right now to not just victim shame. I think we have a reaction also coming in Hindi. Let's quickly listen into that.
सर, शंकर मिश्रा आपचा मुलगा आहे. त्याच्यावर फ्लाईटमध्ये एका 72 वर्षीय महिलावर लघवी करण्याचा आरोप केल्यानंतर त्याच्यावर गुन्हा दाखल झाला आहे. काय म्हणाल आपण? त्यांचे वडील आहात.
हो साहेब, ही 34 सालचा मुलगा आहे. माझा मुलगा आहे. मी तिला खूप ओळखतो कसा आहे. लेडी 72 वर्षीय आहे. आई बरोबर आहे. आई सारखी आहे. असा होऊ शकत नाही. इकडे काहीतरी काही प्रॉब्लेम आहे. काही ब्लॅकमेलिंगचे आहे. इमेज खराब करायचे आहे.
तर त्या महिलांनी काही पैसेही तुमच्या मुलांकडून घेतले, ते पुरावे तुम्ही सादर केले. काय
पैशाची डिमांड होते. इवन एक सी डिमांडेड अँड इट वॉज पेड ऑल्सो. नंतर काय झाले मला माहिती नाही.
सध्या तुमचा मुलगा कुठे आणि कधी समोर येणार आणि तुम्ही या माध्यमातून काय तुमची मागणी आहेत?
मी पण ट्राय करत आहे फोनवर. आता कॉन्टॅक्ट झाला नाही आहे. झाल्यानंतर मी काय बोलू शकत आहे.
All right, so you've heard that reaction again. Now coming in from this creep's father, who goes on to reiterate just about 2 lines. He says he does not believe these reports. This is a complete lie. He says his son can absolutely not do that. He clearly isn't taking any questions, but he goes on to say that every word that has come out in the public domain about his son is absolutely wrong. He also does say that she was a senior citizen. We've given money is what he says. But like I said, a lot of attempt being made to silence the victim here. I want to take it also to our colleague Niranjan, who's joining us from our Mumbai studios. You know, Niranjan, it's a classic case of what happens when you're up against a very, very powerful corporate group. A large part of the lobby is silent. A lot of aviation experts that we were trying to get in are also silent. And now you have the father, the first reaction that comes in from him, and not a word of apology. He says, I do not believe what really has been coming out in the media at all. But that's just one debate. I think you have another debate also for us.
Well, yes, the second debate is on the pictures that we saw from the national capital, where people who are elected to be councillors are having a go at each other, disturbing pictures. But before that, we have some breaking news coming in on the burning question. Cutting across, some pictures coming in from Telangana now, where farmers have intensified their protests. Getting in these pictures from Telangana's Kamareddy, where farmers are holding protests outside the collectorate, along with the Telangana BJP president Bandi Sanjay, who's now been detained. Situation there has been tense for the last few hours. Kamareddy was shot as farmers intensified their protests earlier. And these are pictures coming in. Top BJP leaders from Telangana who were also there were detained earlier. The BJP Telangana president Bandi Sanjay had extended his support for the farmers' issues, and even the Congress party had sent a few teams here to take stock of what was happening. So while the BJP leaders were there in Kamareddy district because of the farmers' protest, it appears that the police have stopped some of these leaders, including Bandi Sanjay. Aneri is joining me with more details. Aneri, what's going on? What are the farmers demanding?
Well, Niranjan, what we have been seeing right now happening in Kamareddy is that since last 10 to 15 days, the farmers of Kamareddy have been staging protests against the state government's industrial zone master plan, which the state government has been planning to come up with, in which the farmers' farmland has been also been taken in this industrial master plan, and that is the reason why the farmers there have been staging protests, saying that they will not give up their lands. Also, when we happen to speak to the farmers, they also state that this master plan will not allow this master plan to happen, because they will fight for it. And also, at the same time, we have seen how the Congress and the BJP have been coming in support of these farmers.
I think we're getting in some reactions. Stay with me. Krishna Sagar Rao of the BJP joining us. Krishna Sagar Rao, why did your leaders go there? Why have they been detained?
See, there was a suicide by the farmer who was supposed to lose his land under the new master plan. Now the government takes a U-turn after the death and says it was a draft master plan. If it is a draft one, why should they go to execute it? Bharatiya Janata Party throws its weight behind the hapless farmers whose lands are being snatched away under the guise of a master plan to actually acquire lands for friends and family of KCR and the government, the seniors in the government, the senior ministers. So Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders are in Kamareddy, our president is in Kamareddy, and we are protesting in support of the farmers who actually yesterday have, used an uprising kind of an event to express their anger and anguish. And today we are there with them. However, the government is coming down heavy with the police, and the high-handedness is visible now when you see that the president of the party has been detained, and the democratic right of the party as an opposition is being contained.
Okay, thank you for joining us with those your views on that. Let me go back to Aneri quickly. Aneri, what is the latest situation there? Because we are hearing that the entire district has been closed, shut off. There was a band there. What's the law and order situation like?
Well, Niranjan, the band was being called by the farmers union today there in Kamareddy, and also at the same time now we see that early in the morning, earlier during the daytime, there were Congress leaders who had staged protest, and right now BJP state president Bandi Sanjay, who was visiting the farmers there, and also he had visited the residence of the farmer who had committed suicide 2 days back, saying that his land is also being taken away in the industrial master plan which the state government is coming forward with, and that is the reason why BJP state president Bandi Sanjay was also seen visiting the farmers' house, and then he also stated that the state government should withdraw this master plan. They should drop the idea of master plan, and also at the same time now we are seeing that BJP state president Bandi Sanjay is at the collector office in Kamareddy, where he has been demanding that the state government should withdraw back the industrial master plan, and also at the same time we also see that the farmers along with Bandi Sanjay are also there right outside the collector office, as they are not being allowed to go inside. They are trying to move in, but then extra forces have been called in, and this was in support. The Bandi Sanjay has come in support of the farmers and hitting out at the state government to withdraw back the master plan which they have come up with.
Thank you for joining us with those inputs. And on to the big story that we are focusing now on, the burning question. It was supposed to be the first meeting of the Delhi municipal body, the MCD, the elections which took place recently. The hotly contested fight between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. Now today, Aam Aadmi Party and BJP councillors came to blows. They exchanged blows, and these are the same leaders who were elected in the civic elections. Exchanging blows, hurling chairs, climbing atop tables, indulging in continuous sloganeering to overpower the other side. The meeting, which was called to elect the mayor, the deputy mayor and the members of the standing committees, was supposed to be followed by the oath-taking ceremony of newly elected councillors. But what unfolded were unprecedented scenes. Slogans being shouted, papers being thrown. Take a look at what happened. You have to see it to believe it.
Chairs and mics flung, punches thrown in the air. Completely bizarre scenes played out. One might mistake these visuals for fist fight in Pakistan. Or brawl over proposed law in Ukraine. But this is our very own national capital. And the hooliganism by elected representatives saw no bar. The attitude was condemnable. The reason for this violent commotion is some councillors were sewn in before the rest. But we have seen these moments of shame before. From using knives in the parliament in 2014 to papers being flung at the speaker in 2020 or clashes on the floor of the house in Bengal. The burning question is simply this: is it time our politicians stop competing with the worst? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Unprecedented scenes. Let me go across to Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP. I think we just lost the line with her. We'll just reconnect. Kailash Vasudev, senior advocate, vice president, Supreme Court Bar Association, and Dr. Piers Yoshi, political analyst, joining us. Dr. Piers Yoshi, is it true that Aam Aadmi Party leaders came drunk to the house as alleged by the BJP? Is it true? If yes, it's a very serious allegation.
Well, all the BJP allegations are really strange. We have Mr. Manoj Tiwari coming to the press conference and saying that Aam Aadmi Party MLAs were drunk, they were carrying blades.
No, it's not just him. There were many others. It was not just him. There were many other leaders who said that. Yeah. But if yes, it explains a lot.
So fair enough. Now name those people who did. If it is true, then all those should be punished. But we have to stop guessing and conjecturing. The problem is of trust deficit. The problem is that there is so much angst amongst each other, and who's responsible for this? It is what is the normal modus operandi? LG consults the chief minister and the cabinet of the ministers for each and every decision that the LG has to make. Now here we have a tremendously antagonistic lieutenant governor who actually does not follow any precedents. It may be legal, like demon was a legal thing, but it may be legal. We can always debate whether it is legal or illegal, but it is unprecedented. It is first in history that you appoint aldermen,
No, I don't think it's unprecedented. 1 minute. I don't think it's unprecedented.
In such
Charu
a GP,
is it unprecedented?
4 to 6 months. It usually takes 4 to 6 months to appoint aldermen, and now he goes and it is unprecedented. That's why I'm saying, because you can quote just 1 or 2 precedents. It may be legal, but it is unprecedented.
No, but what is the problem? Okay, fine. I'm not getting into the merits of who was elected, why did they take oath. I'm just simply looking at those pictures. Look at those pictures. Look at those pictures there.
It is unfortunate.
What is unfortunate? You're an Aam Aadmi Party supporter. Will you condemn what happened inside? Right? So what's the difference between, then if you point fingers at the BJP, I'm asking what's the difference between your party and theirs? Right? Because you always throw charges at each other. What is the difference between an Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP? If you look at these pictures, look at that.
Normally we have nominated members from Rajya Sabha as well, and we have elected members of Rajya Sabha as well.
No, I'm asking you about these pictures. No, I'm asking you about these pictures. Look at these pictures. Charu Pragya.
I told you it is unfortunate. It shouldn't have happened.
What is unfortunate? None of the parties have apologized. None of them have apologized, and from what?
Responsible?
No, but the sequence of events we are hearing, is that the Aam Aadmi Party was upset, and they're the ones who started it, according to the claims being made.
So
Charu Pragya, who started this?
Prove it that Aam Aadmi Party started it, and it was not the BJP council.
I'm asking them. I'm asking her. I'm asking her, Charu, who started it?
The thing is, it is not the point. The point is the way in which the LG has been operating. That is the point, and that is the point of conflict, and that is why this unfortunate situation has risen.
No, I'm asking you, if you don't like the way someone behaves, so is this what you do? I mean, you just start fisting them. Yeah, but Charu Pragya, even your party, I'm sure even the BJP was here, and both sides are having a go at each other, right?
I can't hear Niranjan for some reason, but I'm going to still come in, and Niranjan, if you can help me fix my audio.
I'll just fix that.
I'll tell you how the events of the day unfolded. Now, BJP has a candidate for these mayor elections. Aam Aadmi Party has a problem with it. It's our constitutional right. Even if they feel that they have the numbers, it is still our constitutional right to stand for these elections. I want to ask you, don't people contest against Modi ji? If their logic were to be true, Modi ji ke khilaf koi khada hi nahi hota kisi bhi rajnaitik dal se. So that is when this entire story unfolded. Now they created a mess about the eldermen. Eldermen are not voting for this. They are not the people who are going to decide who the mayor is going to be in any case. Only the councillors are going to decide. So why create a hue and cry? Bottom line is, and their modus operandi has always been this, that they are insecure about their own people. They are insecure about their own councillors. They did not want their councillors to go in for this vote. And this is the ruckus they have created. And I think it is shameful. What unfolded today, what everybody, the whole country know, the whole world to see, has been shameful. Elected representatives of India cannot be fighting like this. And
no, but did nobody from the BJP?
And Niranjan, two quick things again I want to add.
Okay.
Number one, a lot of their councillors were intoxicated. That is just
on
not
what basis
done.
Are you on what basis are you saying that
our women councillors? One of them even suffered a cut.
On what basis are you saying that? It's a very serious charge. You're saying that they were drunk. On what basis are you saying that?
Yes, because I was listening to the bite of Rekha ji, and she has very confidently said that a lot of them were intoxicated. Now, if that is the case, it is a very serious one indeed. But on camera, you can see 4 or 5 male councillors surrounding 2 BJP female councillors. One of them suffered a cut. The other one was also accosted and hit. What sort of behavior is this? What sort of an example are you setting?
Councillors are also injured. There are 4 councillors of Charu ji of Aam Aadmi Party who are also injured, who have also suffered certain cuts. The main thing is this.
You cannot get too close to a woman. You're supposed to respect her personal space.
The main thing is, the main thing.
No, you cannot do this. Don't defend this. Please don't defend this. Don't even start.
The BJP is in a perpetual habit of lying, and that's why they keep on saying that they were drunk, they were carrying blades.
Well, everything is on camera. Everything is on camera. Nobody is lying about anything. Look at their behavior pattern. What person would do this in their normal state of mind?
No. Tell me something. What politician would do this in their normal state of mind? What politician? I want to bring in Kailash Vasudev, senior advocate. Kailash Vasudev, sorry to say, but you voted, right? Sir, you voted for these people. Look at what they're doing inside. Look at what they're doing inside, sir. They're competing with the worst in the world. We had a video from Senegal, the Senegal Parliament come in last month, and we were in the newsroom and that video came in when they were throwing chairs at each other, kicking each other. We were just looking at that video, and a replay is on in the Delhi Civic Center here, sir.
The biggest problem we are facing is we have been 75 years since we become a democracy. In the 75 years of our democracy, a nation is supposed to mature, and our politicians are supposed to mature a little more because they guide us. We elect them for the purposes of a certain amount of discipline and correctness in what they are supposed to do. It is unfortunate as to what is happening today when elected politicians fight in this manner. Can you imagine the impression they're giving out? It's a very sad commentary to see this kind of a distressing affair where we come to fisticuffs over the appointment of a person who's supposed to be elected to a post. You may have a majority, you may have a minority, but that doesn't mean that you misconduct yourself and behave in this terrible manner of fisticuffs and screaming and shouting at each other. It doesn't behave well for the nation, nor does it behave well for all of us who are respected citizens of a respected country. This is getting to be painful and difficult to accept. I'm not concerned with the party. I'm not concerned with anybody. I'm concerned with what we are as Indians. And if this is example we want to set, it's a tragedy for us to even hold these people and elect them to the house. Elect them any place, forget the house.
Yeah, but
it is saddening for all of us.
So, but look at the reason. I mean, both of them are sort of more the Aam Aadmi Party, because they're saying they don't like the LG. They don't like the LG, so you'll beat someone up. Piyush,
The position
you don't like the LG, so you'll beat someone up. Someone's taking an oath, you'll beat them up.
I repeat what I said. Aam Aadmi Party, BJP, Congress, TDP, anything. This kind of conduct in a house, which is a house of dignity, is unacceptable to a citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Nobody could disagree with what Sir.
So then why has the tell me something, why has the Aam Aadmi Party not apologized?
The main thing is this, why? Let me give you an example here itself. Charuji is an official spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party. She has said that these nominated persons or not, these nominated aldermen are not going to vote in the mayoral and deputy mayoral elections. I was in a debate early on another channel with Harish Khurana ji, and Harish Khurana ji was justifying that how can a nominated alderman is eligible can vote and is eligible to vote, and it will.
So you debated, sir. Piyush, you debated. No, 1 minute. Piyush, you debated.
So the main
you debated in how many ever TV channels, but you can debate it.
I want to respond to that.
That is the thing.
You debate, but what gives you the right to get physical?
I want to come in here.
Yes.
6 years back.
I want to come in here.
Vasudev ji wants to speak.
You are supposed to be electing aldermen. Aldermen are people who are elected by both sides and are people of dignity. You are casting aspersions on each other for the purpose of selecting an alderman. Imagine if this was to happen in the Rajya Sabha, which is like electing an alderman. Isn't this sad on both your parts? Can't you select people with dignity? Is this the way you do it? It's a very sad commentary that we are seeing amongst our elected representatives. Just look at the way, just see what you're seeing on the screen. Have we not even iota of respect for the people who have elected you in power?
And women leaders also being pushed up, by the way. I just wanted to bring your attention to even women leaders. 1 minute, I want to bring the attention. I don't care which party it is. I don't care whether it's the BJP or the Aam Aadmi Party, but look at the way that women leaders are being pushed. And we've had the biggest debate over the last 2 weeks. After the Anjali story, is this how you treat women? Everyone comes on debates and speaks about how to treat women. But look at the way that women are being treated. Some of them have, cuts on their hands, etc. What's going on, Piers Yoshi? And here you're saying there's no need for an apology. You don't like the LG. You don't like some aldermen. You don't like, the people chosen.
No, whoever.
What gives you the right to hit someone?
Or BJP, you are doing this in a house.
The main thing is this. It definitely no one has any right to hit anyone, and that's why I started by saying that all this drama which has happened in this in the assembly.
Sir, it's not drama, sir.
Very unfortunate.
Sir, it's not drama. It's physical violence. It's not drama. It's physical violence.
Yeah. So it is really unfortunate. That's why I started. It shouldn't have come to this. But how did it come? Because sir has already said. I'm sorry. I've forgotten your name. But the aldermen are supposed to be elected through a consensus. And here is an LG who goes ahead and you see the modus operandi. That's what they did in Madhya Pradesh. That's what they did in Maharashtra. That's what they did in Goa.
So, but you have a debate. You have a forum. 1 minute.
And then the main thing is, let me take you 6 years back.
No, but what?
6 years back.
Again, you're going back to the same point. 1 minute. You're going back to the same point, Piyush, that nothing gives you, Piyush, you're going back to the same point, but nothing gives you the right.
Just a moment. Let me take you 6 years back.
No, you have a problem with the LG. Piyush, you can have the right. Okay, Piyush, let's assume. Piyush, let's assume whatever you're saying. 1 minute. Piyush, let's assume. No, let's assume what. No, let's assume whatever you're saying is correct. I'm saying let's assume whatever you're saying is correct. Okay, everything is correct, but still, what gives you the right to push, shove,
and
fist,
What
beat someone?
gives the BJP's corporators right to push and hit the Aam Aadmi?
I'm asking you. Nothing gives them the right. Nothing gives them the right. Nothing gives anybody the right. But I'm asking you.
It's the tempers, It's the tempers.
Tempers. In tempers, a lot of things happen in Delhi. 1 minute. In tempers, a lot of things happens in Delhi. Somebody drags a car over someone. Somebody drags a car over someone. Somebody chops somebody into pieces. No, talking about temper. Last 2 days, you want me to tell you how many cases we've reported from Delhi, Piyush? You want me to tell you how many cases we've reported in Delhi of crime, ghastly crimes? All happens because somebody has a bad temper. And these are the people, ironically, who are supposed to, lead by example. What a sad commentary on what's going on in Delhi. Let Charu, even Charu, what about all the BJP leaders who are seen also pushing and shoving? I don't think it's just Aam Aadmi Party leaders. Will your party pull them up?
It is both ways.
Yes, no. But
the sense of dignity does not prevail amongst any of them.
Yes, right, and sir, I agree with you. And with humility, I accept that if somebody from the BJP also behaved in an unruly manner, it is wrong. But what Aam Aadmi Party is using as an excuse is wrong on every single front. I don't know why they're refusing to see that. Also, if the whole argument is about the LG choosing people you don't like with, please go back and look at their affiliation. You actually have a one-upmanship there. The whole crux of this, Niranjan, and I'm going to repeat myself, is that Aam Aadmi Party derailed the process of the election because they were very confident they're going to lose this election.
The elections. You coordinated so that the elections
I did not interrupt
I want to tell you something.
I did not speak over anyone. Please let me finish and then...
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds and I want to say something to you as well. Charu Pragya, yes.
Yeah, so that was the reason for all of this happening today. It started early in the morning. From 10 a.m. onwards, you started hearing these statements coming from Aam Aadmi Party leaders. We knew then that they are intending to create a ruckus. And why were your councillors walking around with sharp objects they could use to cut women? Explain that also.
1 minute. I'll also tell you, the aldermen are supposed to assist the House in taking decisions of public importance.
With no right to vote.
Yeah, 1 minute. Now, this current controversy has two parts to it. First is regards to the people nominated. Because, Kailash Vasudev, a senior advocate, has put it beautifully that these are supposed to be people who are respected, who are acceptable. Charu Pragya, please tell me that, is it true that two of these nominees were found to be technically unfit for the job? If yes, why were they chosen by your party?
And if they are unfit for the job, then they should be suspended, Niranjan. Listen, that's exactly
No. It's not that. No, it's not that simple. It's not that simple because we are hearing that even top leaders in your party, when they got to know about this, were really embarrassed about the kind of people who are nominated to be aldermen.
See, my party
is being reported.
Anybody who's found to be unfit for the position they are on. I am telling you this. But then does that mean this ruckus folds out in front of the entire world like this?
No, that question goes to both parties. I don't think it's just one party. With all humility, I'll tell both the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, both your leaders are seen here having a go at each other. And that is India's national capital where people, these elected representatives were supposed to take oath. Look at that. I don't know whether to laugh or to I feel ashamed looking at these pictures, and anybody should.
Unfortunate, no doubt about it.
Anybody should feel ashamed looking at these pictures. And you speak about women's safety, respecting women. Women. Look at that. Women leaders also were not spared. What a shame, and it's happening in Delhi. Thank you, Kailash Vasudev, Charu Pragya, and Piyush for joining us. The debate is coming up next.
Amity faculty have filed over 1,700 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institution for patents and commercialization.
And here's a quick look at what else is making news across the world this morning. The UN Security Council held an emergency meeting at the request of Palestinians and other Islamic and non-Islamic nations to protest the visit of the ultra-nationalist Israeli cabinet minister to a Jerusalem holy site. The Palestinian UN ambassador cited widespread condemnation of Ben Gvir's visit.
On 3rd January, Israel's new Minister of National Security, Itamar Ben-Gvir, conducted a visit accompanied by heavy security detail to the holy site in Jerusalem. The visit was the first to the site by an Israeli minister since 2017. While the visit was not accompanied or followed by violence, it is seen as particularly inflammatory given Mr. Ben-Gvir's past advocacy for changes to the status quo.
Overnight rains have caused streets to be flooded in downtown Santa Barbara. An atmospheric river is moving further south as people living in flood-prone areas of Montecito went to their closest rescue station. The U.S. Coast Guard has removed more than 300 Cuban migrants from a remote island off the Florida coast. More than 4,400 Cubans and Haitians have arrived in Florida since August amid deepening and compounding political and economic crises in both countries. Arizona's newest governor, Katie Hobbs, was officially sworn in. The inauguration event for Hobbs and several other elected officials took place at Arizona's state capital near downtown Phoenix. Dangerous conditions caused by enormous waves and high tides have impacted the Santa Cruz coastline, forcing evacuations and resulting in damage to multiple piers. According to sources, significant damage has been caused in major areas and will be closed till further notice. Roadblocks and protests continue across Peru as people demand President Dina Boluarte to step down and the Congress to be closed. However, the president said that the police and the army are working lawfully to protect public peace and said only a few groups are protesting. A powerful storm heading towards California has prompted the governor to declare an emergency in the state. State authorities have stockpiled emergency supplies and urged people to avoid non-essential travel since dangerous conditions are expected in the coming days. Maxar Technologies released satellite images showing large-scale destruction of the city of Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine after months of heavy Russian bombardment. The U.S. House has been adjourned for the third day without electing a new speaker after Kevin McCarthy continued to suffer a string of defeats in multiple rounds of voting. As the fight for the speaker drags on, it has now become the longest speaker contest in 164 years. Mercedes-Benz says that it will build its own worldwide electric vehicle charging network starting in North America in a bid to compete with EV sales leader Tesla. The company said that Mercedes' branded network will open to owners of all electric vehicles.